going on? Why is it so blurry? I don't know. The first computer I ever bought was in 2016. It was a Dell, and I I really never used it. I just used my phone and my iPad because it was easy. And back then, this is way before I understood anything about dyslexia. I just had a preference on the files and this and that. I just would get lost easily because my dyslexia isn't at all like the textbook. In fact, if you were to use a textbook to identify it in me, you would easily miss it. And I'm sure thousands, thousands of people are not being diagnosed. And it's not like being diagnosed with dyslexia. It's like stupid because it's not a diagnosis. You're not like damaged. Okay, dyslexia is just a different way of thinking, and how it comes out is different. And that's why, yeah, it could look like reading backwards, letters backwards. Like in my short, I have a tough time putting words in the correct order, especially if they're similar. So it happens, especially like when I'm tired or overthinking it. But mm, basically, you have the left side, which is the majority, and how written language was created through the left lens of a person's cognitive abilities. That sound good? Sounds smart, doesn't it? Anyway, but us, neurodivergence. That sounds kind of weird. Neurodivergent. Sounds like that movie Divergence. But it's not like that. It's not like when you say neurodivergent, it's not like, ooh, I'm living on Mars. No, no. It just means you can think differently than neurotypical people. Yeah, not as exciting, but that's what it is. So, people who think with their right side tend to, I don't have a diagram, and I'm not going to bore you with the details right now. That could be another video altogether, but just know we'd be processing so much differently, like how we see things and experience things, and the struggles that have created this complex and running through life feeling that you don't belong. That's the part I want to talk about. I want to talk about how freeing it was to learn that I wasn't broken or dumb, that following directions that everybody else could understand was so hard for me, and I couldn't figure out why. It was frustrating. And I just couldn't make the connections. See, the best way to explain it is like, it's not that I couldn't make the connections, I couldn't stop making connections. It's like instead of just stopping at the surface, I dissect it in my brain and it keeps dissecting. And then I'm like, wait, where was I? And people would, you know, correlate that to my ADHD, which, yeah, but no, I mean, I'm sure they have like an influence and one alters the other. That's another, you know, rabbit hole we can go through someday. But right now, I just want to focus. See, focus. Where was I? Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna try to keep going, and maybe I'll surprise myself and pick up where that's off. But yeah, I wanna find everybody. I wanna find y'all because I'm telling you, there's more out there. I didn't find out until my age, and when I did, it really did confirm I am smart. I took an IQ test, and I'm not bragging. I'm sure people, this is a good indicator to help figure out who neurodivergents are because it's just the way they think. It's not saying that they're smarter, just they're good at problem solving and identifying patterns. and people with a higher IQ tend to be dyslexic. And again, this isn't because they're smarter. It's just, that's how their brain works. And I found out that mine was a 146. And at first I thought I was like, I broke the test, or maybe I did it wrong. Did I cheat? I didn't really believe it. I didn't. I did score one like a month later, and it dropped down to like a 140. So I should be honest about that. Anyway, but the fact is, I'm not bringing that up because I'm trying to prove that I'm smart. I'm trying to bring that up because I needed that to prove to myself that I'm smart. Even though I always had a different way of seeing the world, and I was really gifted at painting and doing art. But I just sucked at school. It was frustrating because I really, 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 really tried. And every time I tried, I just kept on getting punished, and being separated in below grade level classrooms, being teased and bullied because I'm stupid, and kind of plays on you a little bit, and when you have ADHD on top of it, you kind of have a tough time letting people talk or not talking over people, or your social skills become very compromised. I mean, in the moment, I have to say it sucked because for a long time throughout life, it always sucked inside of me, even back, like feeling back then. I'm telling you, when I learned I'm dyslexic, it changed my life. It really has. And that's why, welcome. And hey, welcome. You don't have to be dyslexic to like follow, more the better. And also, I think it's good that people who are two-dimensional thinkers peek inside the three-dimensional mind, because I think it's important that all of us understand it all together, especially educators, because they have it so wrong. I don't blame them for having it wrong. They don't have the mindset or the concept to get it right. So I am dyslexic. And I'm not saying I'm going to get it right. I'm not a doctor. Though if I wasn't dyslexic, I know I would have made it through, med school. Oh my gosh, I hope that's not my daughter. I'll get embarrassed. Anyway, I just want this short. I just want to say hi. And these are like the things that I want to get into. But I also my neurodivergent mind wants to explore other things. So bear with me if I do that. I'll try to tie it all back down to, well, I mean, if I'm talking about it, then it is tied to a dyslexic mind. So I don't really have to make that differentiate or the difference. I don't have to make that difference. So there. You're just going to have to come around for the ride, crazy or not. Okay? Deal with it. Peace out.